If Cam Newton never plays another down in the NFL, are you satisfied with your career?
Yes, sir. Because I gave everything to this game of football. And in the famous words of Frank Sinatra,
You did it your way.
I did it my way. From the fashion to the way I presented myself to everything else. I'm satisfied.
When you officially decide to call it a career, in 5 years, does Cam Newton get that call? Does he get that knock on the door and say, welcome to football heaven, which is Canton, Ohio, the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Honestly, though, I wouldn't care. And not to disrespect the Hall of Fame and the people who are in it. My impact was felt. And that's all I wanted. From a kid from College Park, Georgia, by way of Atlanta, to have the impact that I had, where globally, I go anywhere and people say, man, he look like, man, what's the football? Dad, we played in a masked sport. Mm-hmm. To be recognized without your helmet on, that tells you something, that you did something right. And let this be said too. I never had an incident with domestic violence. I never had a run-in with the law. I never had anything conduct detrimental where people would have assumed that, oh man, he's a head case.
Right.
That's your personal opinion. Go back and talk to Ron Rivera. Go back and talk to Matt Rule. Go back and talk to Bill Belichick. Talk to Greg Olsen. Talk to Thomas Davis. Talk to these people who shared the locker room with me. Rest in peace. Talk to Jerry Richardson. These people will tell you who Cam Newton really is. A lot of people who don't like Cam Newton, it's only subjective to what you may think. And I'm fine with being able to say, I'm not for you. And I think with me being so comfortable in my skin, that's what rubs people the wrong way. Mm-hmm. So for me, I can get the validation from people around when they appreciate what I've done, and that's my nod to them saying, well done. And that's what I can go to sleep at every single night. Whether my daughters or my sons remember me playing football or not, I have the ability to raise them to be honorable kings and queens, the same way that my father and my mother did for me and my grandmother.
Last thing, the car accident when you was in Carolina. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? Do you remember that morning?
Yeah, I do. It was on an off day. It was we had Victory Monday, and the truck that I was driving was elevated, like hot, too high. But young, and like I wanted to stand. That was me being around the Texas, being around the Alabama, like them country boys had them elevated trucks, and I wanted to get one. And the intersection that it was at, I remember the car coming out, then it stopped, then I stopped or slowed down. Then I sped up and he sped up too. I remember I thought I passed him and I was trying to blow the horn like, wah! And as I'm blowing the horn, he clipped my back left wheel and it flipped over. And as I'm flipping, I'm saying to myself, oh my God, not like this. Not like this. And I was on the phone with my mom. Not like this. No, not like this. Not like this. And when I got out, I didn't realize how close off the edge of the bridge it was.
Right.
So when they say I had a praying grandmother, a praying mother, man, that could have been it. You don't know the time, the hour, or the day. So don't let smoking a cigar derail you from understanding that I'm a man of God, God-fearing. I know where my favor come from. I'm humbled by the fact that God has given me the opportunity to say, that I owe my life to him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fear nothing outside of God. And that day was a perfect example of, I was on top of the world. My father would always say, son, be careful. One day you could be on top of the world, and the next day the world can be on top of you. Do right by people.
Mm.
And no matter what you say about Cam Newton, you can never find a person that I did wrong. And that's what resonates to me the most. Because there's times in my life, similar to that car accident, where I ain't supposed to be here. They thought after Florida, they'll never hear from me again. It was so many transfers that left.
Right.
And you never
heard from them again.
Never heard from them. But when I came back, then my story and everything that I went through, why me? I would always ask myself, man, how I'm always getting caught? Man, son, you ain't regular. These are conversations. This is a perfect father-son story.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was afraid of my dad. The only thing that brought us closer was me in JUCO. While I was in Florida, man, I didn't call my dad, man. I'm gonna cut your phone off. You better answer. That was the first time I was out. I was a bird. I mean, I was gone.
Yeah.
Man, you could bring girls in the dorms and ain't nobody got curfew. Oh, man. But that wasn't the calling that I had.
Right.
That's why I'm able to resonate with my kids and say, son, it's all right. Tell me, like, what's going on? It may be tough loving, but all medicine ain't sweet either.
Right.
So as I'm living these situations and I'm saying to myself, and let me be the example of hope. So I can't stop going out to 707. Right. I can't stop speaking my mind, because every time I want to, there's a person that I'm giving hope to that I may not ever meet, but they are able to say, man, Cam, I resonate with Cam. He my kind. And that's not a black thing. That's not a white thing. That's an all mankind thing. I like him.
Are you surprised Coach Belichick doesn't have a job?
No, it's because he don't want a job. Like, I mean, bruh.
What makes him special? You had an opportunity to spend 1 year with him, and it was only a year, but what makes Coach Belichick special?
I remember when Robert Kraft called me, and it was something that was just, it penetrated my core. It was like, yo, like, damn. He was like, Cam, in this organization, you ain't gonna find an organization that's pulling in the same direction like the New England Patriots. Everything is aligned to winning. When I went to spend my time in New England, I was blown away by the amount of details that they focused on. He taught the game of football, not just to the offense, not just to the defense, special teams included. He taught the game of football to everybody. Oftentimes, that pencil ain't just a fashion statement. He got a pencil, iPad, notepad, taking notes. While he working out, taking notes, watching film, certain things, and he teaches the game. Coaches oftentimes forget that being a great coach is also being a great teacher. You have to understand, talking to Cam, you got to change the tone or dialect when you're talking to a Shannon Sharpe, when you're talking to an Ocho Cinco, a Odell Beckham, a Patrick Mahomes, a Tom Brady. The great ones know how to weave in and weave out and get their message across. That's what Bill Belichick has done and proven. He's so intentional that it ain't like he riding off in the sunset because that's what he want to do. If Bill Belichick wanted a job, he got that name, Manning, Sanders, Belichick. That man, if he wanted to be hired somewhere, he would have been there. Me knowing what I know about him, he probably don't want it. What does he have to prove?
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because you know we like to do something before two something.